What do we know, everybody? I am doing a little bit of mowing around the feedlot here, and I thought, since my basics of driving a 7120 video went over pretty well, that I'd do one on how to drive something a little more modern. The tractor that we're going to be showing you today is a Case 210 Magnum. It is an older tractor. It's not a nice tractor, which makes it perfectly suited for hooking the mower up to. Got a decent air conditioner in it, and it's a lot more comfortable to drive than the 7120 is with the mower hooked up. But nice thing about it, and the nice thing about showing you something like this, is that most of these controls transfer over to the newer style of Case tractors. John Deere is going to be a little bit different, but the same principles are going to apply. But pretty much everything as far as hydraulics, PTO, raising and lowering the 3-point, things like that, are all going to be the same. So flip it around here and we'll start. So we look over here at the steering wheel area. We'll start over here with the key switch. That's pretty self-explanatory. Headlights, flashers, pretty much the same with everything. Over here you got your other lights. Those will be your spotlights for your front, your back, all that good stuff. And this is your blinker if you so choose to use it. And this guy right here is how you make it go forward and back. Put it over here, you go forward, then you got neutral, and then you got reverse. Now, one thing that I really don't like about this tractor is that you can't just kind of float it around from reverse to forward or whatever if you get stopped. You have to have that clutch pushed all the way to the floor. And you got to make sure you go into neutral and then you go into forward or reverse. Don't know why it is. We've sent it back to the implement, and that's just the way that it keeps coming back. Yeah, same thing if you have the PTO engaged. Like, we'll put this on the bagger, we engage the PTO, throw it in neutral, and it will just beep and beep and beep and beep and beep at you unless you lightly depress the clutch, and then that warning goes away. And there's a safety switch in there that makes it do that. I'm not going to bother trying to figure out where that's at or deal with it. Not my problem. So now that we're done over here, we're going to go over here. It's kind of the money end of the operation. This is your throttle. Throttle up, throttle down. This is how you select your gears. You go up, you go to a higher gear. You push down, you go to a lower gear. You do not have to hit a clutch. Speaking of clutch, you got your right brake, your left brake. You can push them both together. That is your tilt. And this guy over here is your clutch. Pretty simple. Throttle is how you go, and that's how you set how fast you go. These guys here are your hydraulic remotes. You got remote 1, 2, 3, 4. Push it all the way forward. That's in float. When you're going to hook hydraulics up and take hydraulics out, it works best when you do it that way. This guy right here is going to be a little bit different than in the modern tractors. Modern tractors are going to have like a knob. This one's kind of nice because you can just flick it with your thumb. So, like with this mower, if I go through a deep spot and that mower starts to dog down a little bit, like it's going to want to kill the tractor, I can just flip that up with my thumb, lift it up, get past whatever's troubling it, and put it back down where I want it. This guy right here, push it down here on the back, lifts 3-point, push it forward, drops the 3-point. And let's see here. One of these buttons here, wondering, yeah, this guy right here. This guy locks in your front wheel assist. So push it forward, front wheel assist is locked in, meaning your front wheels will also power the tractor. Bolt to the back, unlock that, your front wheels just move with the tractor. They don't drive anything. These guys right here, if you only want this to go a certain amount, you can flip that to the right and you can lock your hydraulic pressure in, lock your remote into place. This guy right here, that is your PTO. Push it up, PTO is engaged, pull it back, PTO is off. Over here, that is your fan. That is how hot or cold you would like it. This is a wiper, and this sets your AC. Then up here, pretty basic, we hook our citizens band radio up here, or our business band radio, sorry. Got your regular stereo up there, little cubby space. You got your deal here to hang your monitors and everything else you would need for planting or harvesting, what have you. We don't have anything up there because we don't use this tractor for that. Over here, this is kind of your heads-up display. You probably can't see it too well, but it gives you your oil pressure, your coolant temperature, your fuel level, tells you if your front wheel assist is locked in, tells you your RPMs, speed, gear, what have you. Pretty neat little deal. That don't vary much, just gets fancier with the newer tractors. I'm gonna go ahead and turn the fan on because I am hot. There we go. So it's pretty simple. Just kind of like driving a semi, I guess you could say. You push the clutch in, you throw the thing in forward. You can usually start out in about 7th gear, ease off of that. Always want to make sure you got a little bit of throttle on with this tractor, but once you get it thrown into gear, you throttle up, you keep grabbing gears, and life is good. And I'll go ahead and show you. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and push the release, pull my steering wheel down, push in on the clutch, put that in the forward. We'll throttle up just a bit. And we're going to go ahead and take off in 7th. And then I can throttle this thing all the way up, and I can start going. When I'm trying to go somewhere, I always got this thing all the way up. Go ahead and stop, throttle down, put it back in park, that back up. So when I tell you guys this thing is like driving a giant lawnmower, that's pretty much what it is. If you can drive a lawnmower, you can drive a tractor. Problem is that they're bigger and you got to pay attention to more stuff. This one had duals on it. We took the duals off. The duals had a whole other issue as far as knowing where you're at so you don't run anything over. But to take those duals off, we still have the longer axles on it, so you still got to pay attention. The nice thing about this with the mower on it is the mower is just as wide as our axles. Boss man, he likes to back up and mow everything. I don't like doing that in this tractor. I don't really like doing that in general, but I especially don't like doing it in this tractor because in my opinion, I can't go slow enough in reverse to be confident I'm not going to run any fence post over. And well, he don't care if he runs a fence post over because he's got me to fix it. So it is what it is. I'd rather go forward anyway, but everybody's got their own way of doing things. As far as what you're looking at when you're driving forward mowing, especially around the fence line, you're going to have to play with it. Every mower's different. You're going to figure out your sight lines, just kind of like backing up a trailer. You're going to figure out what you're looking at, and practice is the only thing that's really going to make you good at it. As far as running like a grain cart or anything off of this, you're going to be reusing your hydraulic remotes. And it's pretty simple. You'll get headed up to wherever you're going to be dumping the grain. You'll fold your pipe out, get up to it, start your PTO, idle it up a little bit, and then start opening your grain gate inside of your auger wagon. And all that'll be hydraulic driven except for the auger itself, which is PTO driven. So unfold, PTO, then you open your gate. And then when you feel like you've got them full enough or you're going to be empty or whatever, close your gate first, turn your PTO off, and then close your pipe. Really simple, really easy. And a tractor like this, especially if you're following somebody in the field trying to catch up to a combine, it makes it so much easier than like the 7120, keeping up and keeping the right speed. And These things are so much better in the field and so much better with the mowers. They're so much more comfortable, especially with these badger holes and coon holes. It works a lot better. It's a lot more pleasant of a ride. It's a lot quieter in here. But long story short, this one here, this 210, boss never really liked. It didn't really work all that well. Works great for this and a few other little things. Our 245 Magnum is probably my favorite tractor. It works really, really well, but we got that hooked up to other stuff because it works well. And the 280, which is our newer one, it's got the whole new style everything, all the bells and whistles. You can shift gears off of this, but you can also do your forward and reverse off of it. You can throttle up and throttle down. You can do all sorts of cool stuff just with that joystick. And not really joystick, just your throttle control. And then you got other bells and whistles with the buttons and the different things that you can do. So that's a little bit different than this. And we'll cover that in a different video whenever I got time. But hopefully you guys learned a little bit of something. It's pretty basic. It's pretty simple. It doesn't take much to make these things go. And honest to goodness, if you get thrown out here and you've never driven a tractor before, you've never driven a case tractor, it's really easy. Go out, practice a little bit. One tip I like to give is really work on your left brake and right brake. And flip you around again. So we got left brake, we got right brake. When you're going to go and you're going to turn, if I'm going to turn to the right and I need to make a tight turn, I am stomping this all the way to the floor. If I'm going to go make a turn to the left, I'm stomping this all the way to the floor. If I am backing up and I have to hit a specific spot, it's really tight, I'm inside a building, whatever, these are your friend because they can lock one wheel up and they can make you turn pretty tight. So I would definitely practice the left brake, right brake thing. Get used to it. It is your friend. It is one of your best friends, especially if you're going to do row crop work. These guys down here, I come from ranch country, cowboy country. So the way we ran tractors up there is vastly different than the guys down here. These guys down here are savants with these tractors. They can run full speed with a 3-point implement, get down to the end of the row, slam left brake, right brake, lift that thing out of the ground, and they can flip around and not have to drop a gear, not have to slow down. I've never seen anything like it, and I certainly can't do it. It's pretty impressive to watch. But like I say, you've never been in it, you've never played around with it, just mess with it. Drive around, have some fun. And realistically speaking, if you show up on a place and they're going to throw you in a tractor and you've never driven it before, it's in their best interest to let you play around. If they set you loose and say go mow this or that, play around with it. Practice with it. Practice. Take it slow. Do it the right way. And you're going to figure out these little tricks as you go along. Pretty simple thing. I mean, I cannot stress how easy this actually is. So, at any rate, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Found it a little bit informative, or at least a little bit entertaining. I enjoy making these things. If you have anything else you want to see, let me know. But, as always, guys, I thank you all for watching.